When we talk about the Holocaust, it's one of those moments in history, right, that just really shows you, like, the worst of humanity. But at the same time, you also see this amazing resilience in people. 6 million Jewish people, it's just an incredible number, murdered, persecuted. And then you add in all the other groups the Nazis targeted, Romani people, anyone who disagreed with them politically, people with disabilities. It's
a staggering scale of brutality.
It really is. And it's hard to wrap your head around it, to be honest. But that's why we're doing this deep dive, right? I mean, we've got to try to understand it. And for me, it's the survival stories, the resistance. Those are the things that really make you think about the strength of the human spirit.
Absolutely. I mean, in the face of just unimaginable horror, to find a way to not only survive, but to actively fight back. That's what we're going to look at today. Some stories you might not know, some amazing examples of just human resilience.
Yeah, exactly. So let's jump into one of those stories. Let's go to Warsaw, Poland, 1943. We're going to talk about a young woman named Lydia Kleinman. She was 17 at the time. Now, before the war, her family, they had a good life. Her dad was a professor, her mom a pianist. Their home was full of books, music, culture. And then the Warsaw Ghetto, it's just this horrible place, just crammed with people, disease everywhere, people starving. It just completely upended their lives.
It was a deliberate attempt by the Nazis to dehumanize, right? Take away everything that makes you a person, your rights, your home, your dignity, forcing people into these tiny, filthy spaces. And then you have these rumors start swirling around about the ghetto being liquidated, just gone, wiped out. I mean, can you imagine the fear?
Just constant terror. So Lydia's father, he knows he has to do something, sitting around waiting. It's not an option anymore. So he comes up with this plan. It's really a desperate plan.
It's amazing, isn't it, how desperate times can lead to these incredible displays of resourcefulness. He decided they were going to use the tunnels, the sewers under the Warsaw Ghetto. I mean, they weren't meant for escape, obviously, but they became lifelines for so many people. And groups like Ugoda, the Council to Aid Jews, they were crucial in all this, helping people escape, finding them places to hide, giving them what they needed to survive.
Okay, but think about it for a second. Tunnels, sewers, I mean, that's not a pleasant thought. Dark, damp, probably stinks to high heaven. And then you've got Nazi patrols up above, listening for any sound. One wrong move, and...
Yeah, it's just unimaginable. The physical conditions alone, the stench, the darkness, the risk of disease, it's just awful. And then that constant psychological pressure, knowing that every sound you make could be your last. It's like walking a tightrope in the dark.
Absolutely. So Lydia, her parents, and her little brother Samuel, he was only 8, they're making their way through this maze of tunnels, complete darkness. And then Samuel, he's just the little kid, he slips and he cries out.
Oh, just thinking about it sends chills down my spine. In that situation, a child's cry, that's like a beacon to the enemy. I've read accounts where people describe a flashlight beam suddenly shining down through a grate, then German voices, footsteps getting closer, just terrifying.
So Lydia, she reacts instantly. She covers Samuel's mouth, whispers to him, "Be quiet, be quiet." I mean, can you imagine those seconds? A German soldier right there, looking down, maybe inches away from finding them, just frozen, holding their breath, waiting.
It's those moments, where you see what people are really made of. Lydia, putting her brother's safety above everything else, it just shows you the power of family, the instinct to survive, and to stay completely silent. Still, when you're that close to being caught, it's almost superhuman.
And then the light moves away. The voices, the footsteps, they fade into the distance. They're safe, for now. They made it. It's a huge relief, but I can only imagine how terrifying that moment must have been and how it would stay with them.
That kind of fear, it would stick with you, for sure. But they had to keep going, and incredibly, they did. They managed to get out of the ghetto, escape to the outskirts of Warsaw, but even then, the danger wasn't over, not by a long shot.
Right. Getting out of the ghetto, that was one thing. But finding a safe place in Nazi-occupied territory, that was a whole other challenge. And this is where you see the incredible courage of everyday people. Mm-hmm. A Polish Catholic family, knowing the risks, the danger they were putting themselves in, they took Lydia's family in, hid them.
It's just mind-blowing. Under Nazi occupation, hiding Jewish people, that was a death sentence. But so many people, so many families, they did it anyway. They risked everything because they believed in doing the right thing, in helping others. It's a powerful reminder that even in the darkest times, there are still those who choose to be good, to be kind.
And thankfully, Lydia's family, they did survive the war. But the things they saw, the things they went through, it left its mark,
Yeah.
It's a reminder that survival, it often came at a huge price, both physically and emotionally.
It's not just about escaping death. It's about living with the trauma, the memories, the knowledge of just how cruel people can be. Those scars, they run deep.
Absolutely. And later on, Lydia, she dedicated her life to telling her story, to sharing her experience with students, making sure that the Holocaust is not forgotten, that people learn from it. It's powerful, to hear those firsthand accounts.
Those personal stories, they make history come alive, right?
Yeah.
They help us understand the human cost, the individual lives behind the statistics, and her commitment to education. It just shows how important it is to remember, to learn from the past.
And, as we listen to Lydia's story, it's important to remember, this is just one example, right? There were countless acts of resistance, big and small, people fighting back in any way they could. The Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, people smuggling food and medicine into the ghettos, acts of sabotage, hiding people in their homes. It's incredible the bravery, the resourcefulness people showed.
Yeah, and it wasn't always about, taking up arms. It was about keeping their culture alive, creating art, holding on to hope when everything seemed lost. And so many stories, we've lost them, Time passes, memories fade. That's why it's so important to remember the ones we do have, to honor them.
And that brings us to, I think, the most important point. Why are we talking about this? Why does the Holocaust matter today? It's not just a history lesson, right? It's a warning about what happens when hatred and prejudice go unchecked, when we stay silent in the face of injustice.
We're still seeing it today, aren't we?
Yeah.
Prejudice, discrimination, people being targeted because of who they are, where they come from, what they believe. Understanding what happened during the Holocaust, it helps us recognize these dangers, helps us fight back against them.
Exactly. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I think it's important to come back to why we're doing this. Uncovering these stories, sharing them, learning from them, and honoring the people who lived through it all.
The power of individual stories, right? Lydia's story, all the stories we haven't heard, they show us that even in the darkest times, even when it seems like all hope is lost, the human spirit can endure. It can resist. It can make a difference.
It really does make you think. History isn't just something in a book. It's alive. It's all around us.
Right.
And what Lydia's story shows us, what so many stories from that time show us, is that our actions matter. The choices we make, they have an impact. So what will we choose to do? How will we stand up against injustice? How will we make the world a better place? That's what we need to think about.
It's a powerful message, and one we should all carry with us.